Our phone is one of the most important travel tools we have because of the great travel apps on it. And today we're going to share our favorite 22 travel apps
for 2022.
We're John and Bev, and we are the Retirement Travelers.
The first one is probably one of the most important one. It's WhatsApp. We just simply could not get by without WhatsApp on this trip. You know, for international travel, it is a must. We communicate with our Airbnb hosts, with different tour operators, with different people we've met around the world. Using WhatsApp, they do not have to call internationally to your cell phone. The other thing we use it for is video chat with friends and family back home. It's just an amazing app and a must-have communication tool.
Our next app is Rome2Rio. And the reason we love Rome2Rio is it helps us to plan our trip. And if you're starting in one city and going to another, it will give you all the options for getting there. It might suggest a plane trip, or it might suggest a train, or possibly a taxi or private car. It gives you a round figure for how much that costs for each option. And while it's not fail-proof, it does tell us what we need to know. And then we go from there, searching out our best fare price or different options. But check it out if you are planning a long-distance travel and you are looking for a way to get from one city to the next or one country to another.
The next app that's important is Airbnb. We probably stay in over 50 Airbnbs a year, and what we like about the app is everything is contained in one. All the communications, the messages with the host, the information, Airbnb experiences, our history of conversation with the host, everything is contained in one app, and we really like that.
The next app that we like is Booking.com. This is mostly a hotel app finder, and it gives you a lot of options for putting in the different amenities that you're looking for, whether it is a breakfast in the morning or free Wi-Fi, just whatever it is that you're looking for. We like having this in our arsenal.
The next app is Rover. We have used Rover for years, and it's been a key part of our trip planning because we wanted to make sure that our little doggies had a good place to stay while we were traveling. We used it on international trips. We also used it all across America when we were actually traveling with our dogs in an Airstream to see all the national parks. We've had really good success. The hosts have been really good, and you can pick out the type of host and whether there's other dogs there. It's been a great service, and it's a great app if you have pets and you like to travel.
The next app that we really like is TripAdvisor. And the reason we like TripAdvisor, while you can book a stay through them or an experience, we really like their forum. And if you have a travel question about how to get from one place to another, or what you can do when you get somewhere, or you just have a question in general about travel, you can go on their forum and look for that question. And other travelers have left comments to help you along the way. It's really nice to add to the forum, to add your comments as you travel and help other travelers, but we really find this helpful.
The next apps we use are ones called Culture Trip and World Nomads, and what this is really articles about places. You can type in a destination that you want to go, and you will get a variety of different articles or blogs that people have written about that place. And it's really interesting to get different perspectives, ideas on what to do, where to go eat, things to see. We found it's really helpful, and it's something in addition to TripAdvisor that we used really to learn more about an area that we're going to go visit.
The next app that we love is called Atlas Obscura. And what Atlas Obscura does is it pinpoints all of those quirky little places that you might want to see on your trip. When we were traveling across the country, we were able to see the Jolly Green Giant and the Superman statue and a whirligig park. And it's just all the weird little things that are out there that you want to see.
Maybe we like it so much because we're a little weird and quirky.
Maybe so.
The next app is called My Day Trip, and it's actually a website and not an app, but we wanted to throw this in because it's really important for traveling. As we're planning to travel through the Balkans this summer, we are actually using My Day Trip a few times because The rail system and the buses are not that great, especially when you're changing international borders throughout the Balkans. And what My Day Trip is you can arrange a private car ride going across international borders, and you can also do add-on trips and do some sightseeing along the way. And we were actually pretty impressed. The pricing is not that bad, and it really helps us get from point A to point B in difficult places like the Balkans. So keep that in your arsenal for your trip planning.
Yeah, and what you might not know is that when you're crossing borders, a lot of times you cannot go with a rental car.
Yeah.
So even if you wanted to drive, it becomes a problem.
Yep.
The next apps that we could not do without are Google Maps, Apple Maps, and Waze.
Why do we still get lost?
The navigator, baby.
Oh, it's
the navigator.
Operator error.
But for the most part, we use Google Maps. We like that we can download the map offline or while we have Wi-Fi, and then be able to use it offline without having to use our Wi-Fi or our data plan. We like Apple because it will work with our watches, and we wear Apple watches, and we really like that. The thing that we like about Waze, while to me it's not as user-friendly, it is important when you're in Central America and other places in the world. Waze is a really good app to have because Google Maps just takes you down the wrong roads.
It does. Accuracy is important.
Even for us.
The next app involves the weather. Now, we use weather.com, and most people use this anyway, but we have used it quite a bit for our trip planning. A great example was here recently. We were out in the Greek islands, and the winds were whipping over 50 miles an hour. And we were able to check ahead a few days when we were planning to take a ferry ride, and the winds were going to be 50 miles an hour, and we said, no way. There was white caps all over the Aegean Sea, and we knew how rough the seas were going to be, so we decided to fly. And so we switched from ferry to airplane, and it was a great move. So it's always great to have a great app like Weather Channel so you can check the forecast.
The next app that we like is Uber and Lyft. Now, both of these are really great ways to get around, and if you've never used them, they're fairly easy to use. You do have to know that when you come out of an airport, oftentimes they do not allow an Uber to pick you up on the curb, and you might have to find the location where you can be picked up. And that can be kind of tricky.
We've been lost several times there.
Yeah, looking for our Uber driver. The other thing is that every country doesn't allow Uber. We're in Italy right now, and Italy doesn't allow for an Uber. And when we were in Colombia, they didn't allow Uber either. We still used Uber, but we didn't have the best experience. So, but for the most part, if you can use it, we would prefer it over a taxi.
The next app is a new one for us this year, and we absolutely love it. Wi-Fi is extremely important to us as YouTubers, and so we discovered an app called Wi-Fi Map. And basically what it is you can walk around anywhere, and you can pull up a map of all the free and public Wi-Fi that people have loaded into the system. It gives passwords, and it basically gives you free Wi-Fi pretty much in any city around the world with this app. So we absolutely love it. Wi-Fi Map.
The next app that we cannot live without is Google Translate. And Google Translate is used on our trip every single day. Either we are trying to converse with someone, and you can actually say what you want to say in English, and then it will translate it into the language of your choice, or you can type a question to someone, and then you can either have them read it, or you can have the app say it to them. The other thing that it has a camera, and you can put your camera over a menu or a sign, and it will translate what it sees through the camera. And so we use it to read menus and all kinds of things.
We also use it to read the washing machines in Greece and Italy because we have no idea what cycle we were putting the clothes on. So it's been really helpful. The next one is XE Currency. It's always handy to know the currency conversion wherever you're at in the world. There's lots of opportunities where you're exchanging money and you really want to know whether you're being taken or not from an exchange rate. So it's a handy little app to have with you at all the time. It's called XE Concurrency.
The next app we like is Audible. These are books on audio. We also like Apple Books. We use both of these as we travel when we want to read or when we don't have the ability to read. We can listen to a book on audio, and we've had so much enjoyment doing that over the years.
Learned a lot too. The next app we like is called GlobeTips. And what this app does is it gives you guidelines for tipping for restaurants, transportation, etc. in pretty much every country around the world. So you just pull up the country and it will give you the tipping guidelines for that country. We have found it very helpful.
The next app we like is called FlightAware. And what this app does is it tells you whether a flight is on time or if it's delayed. And it's really useful if a flight gets canceled and or there's weather and we're trying to find another option.
The next app we like is called Radical Storage. There's also a couple similar apps called Bounce and Nanny Bag. And what these are storage for your luggage. So if you're passing through on the train, and we're going to be using it here in Pisa, you can check your bags in. They're safe for 3 or 4 hours while you go sightseeing and then hop back on the train. So Radical Storage, it's a great luggage storage app.
The next app we like is called AllTrails. And AllTrails will help you pinpoint locations of trails, whether they are hiking or biking trails. And this is really useful when you're traveling.
The next one we use is called ExpressVPN. VPN is really important when you're traveling, especially internationally. It keeps all your data safe. It also allows you to access the internet as if you were in your home country. So from a safety standpoint and accessibility to your banking and things like that, VPN is very important, and we like ExpressVPN.
The last app on our list is a very important one.
Our favorite one.
And one we use and one we can't live without. I mean, it's not our age, is it?
I don't know.
It's not our age because we like this one.
It might be.
But anyway, it's called Flush. And Flush can tell you where the public restrooms are. These are really hard to find in another country. And when you have to determine what they're even called in another country, it's really nice to be able to just find them yourself.
Yes, you just pull it up on your phone and it gives you a map and it gives you the exact location of every public restroom. So very handy. We hope you've enjoyed our favorite 22 travel apps for 2022. And if you've got ideas on ones we've missed, please leave them in the comments below for our viewers.
Yes, and we are actually travel vloggers. We are traveling the world full-time, no home, just travel. We're trying to do a whole series on how to travel and give you some tips on how to do different things. We also vlog every week, and we release our vlog on Sunday mornings. And we travel, and you can kind of check in on us and see where we're at.
Yeah, so if you like this content, please be sure to hit subscribe and smash that like button, and we'll see you next week. Be sure to hit subscribe and follow along on our retirement journey around the world.